People, it is over. Bayer Leverkusen's undefeated season comes to an end because they've just lost the Europa League Final 3-0 to Atalanta. Who saw that coming? I don't think anybody actually gave Atalanta a chance in this match. And Ademola Lookman, oh my goodness, this man was moving like prime Neymar today. A hat trick in the Europa League Final. Are you mad? This guy was playing for Everton, Fulham, Leicester City a few years ago. And he's here, carrying his team to qualifying for the Champions League. Because Atalanta are only sitting 5th in the Italian league, in Serie A. So they needed to win this game. I think they have 2 more games left in their season. But it doesn't matter now. They've won a trophy. They've qualified for Champions League football. And they're going to just be coasting until the season is officially over for them. And didn't they just play Juve in some Italian Cup as well? So even though they're sitting 5th, Atalanta have been competitive this season. And they definitely took a lot of people by surprise today. Look, this was my first time watching them. And I think that they definitely were the underdogs throughout their Europa League run. Because I thought Liverpool were going to beat them. They end up knocking them out. Now they're in the Europa League Final 3-0 against Bayer Leverkusen, who were chasing an invincible treble. And I did a watch along today, and I actually predicted 3-2 to Atalanta. Not because I actually thought they'd win, but because I'm a hater. I thought, look, what Leverkusen were doing this season has been phenomenal. It's been fantastic. And an invincible treble might just be the greatest accomplishment that a team can accomplish in this sport. It might be the best thing that we've ever seen. And that's why I didn't want them to win it. Because if it's not my team making history, I'm a hater. I'm not going to lie, people. I can hold up my hands and admit that. But nonetheless, Leverkusen got their first L today. But it's still been a great season for these guys. Right? Like, let's just be honest. Nobody thought that they'd be on for a treble to begin with. They end up winning the Bundesliga, going invincible. And now they're going to have a chance to do a domestic double by winning the DFB Pokal. And they're playing some 3rd division team. So if there was any time for them to lose a game, it was going to be today. I fully expect them to win that other trophy. But while we're going to still praise Leverkusen for the season that they've had, today, they were shocking. They created nothing. At no point this game did they actually look like they were going to score. Atalanta's goalkeeper didn't have much to do. And everybody was saying, oh, well, Atalanta, they're only up 2-0. Wait till it gets to the 85th minute and then watch what Leverkusen do. And all season, Leverkusen would get bailed out by last-minute goals. And there were a few times this season that they should have lost. I mean, how many times did they score? 91st minute, 93rd, 94th. To be able to salvage and get either a draw or a win. Like, let's just be honest here. And, I mean, for you to lose your first game in a final, that has to suck. I'm not going to lie. But, look, nonetheless, Leverkusen have had a great season, right? But they definitely should have won this game today. I think that was the expectations. They were the favorites, and they just came out and they shat the bed. I think that they probably were believing their own hype. They probably believed that Atalanta were no match for them, and they haven't lost a game all season, and I just don't think that they took it as serious as they should have. They had history on the line today. They were still playing for an invincible treble, and they ruined it. Leverkusen today, they came out, they looked sloppy. They didn't look creative enough in the final third. I mean, what was going on today? These guys couldn't string together a few passes. And basically, Atalanta punished them. And if I'm being honest, Atalanta started off the game well, right? The first 25 minutes, Lookman scored a brace. He was cooking. Atalanta were in and around the box often. And then the game kind of slowed down. It was a bit boring. And then Lookman popped up, got that 3rd goal in the second half to complete his hat trick and to put the game away. And that's all that she wrote. As I said, not one point in this game did Bayer Leverkusen look like they were actually going to score. This game could have went on for another I don't know, 2 hours. And I don't think that Leverkusen would have got something. Their players ghosted. Granit Xhaka did nothing today. Florian Wirtz dropped the stinker. Jeremy Frimpong, where was he? He was up and down that right-hand side. He made some good runs. But he had one chance that he bottled. He should have maybe took a first touch when he took that volley. Nobody was around him. Maybe they could have got a goal then. Grimaldo did nothing. So, look, Leverkusen still have had a great season, right? Nobody expected them to win the Bundesliga. Nobody expected them to be even in this kind of situation. But, and now that you're here, you have to say that it is a disappointing result. And if I was a Leverkusen fan, I would be pretty pissed off. But shout out to Atalanta, man. I had a few guys in the chat telling me that this is an underrated team. But I wasn't familiar with their game. I didn't even know that Lookman played for them until today. I was like, oh shit, I know this guy. When I was creating the overlay, and you guys see the names on the bottom left, that is the starting 11s, I put in Lookman's name, and I was like, oh, that's where Lookman's been. I remember him bursting onto the scene a few seasons ago. He had like a good 6 months, then fell off. All of a sudden, he's in Italy, and he's been pretty good for Atalanta from what I've seen. And boy, was he big for them today. Man of the match performance. I didn't even know that he played for the Nigerian national team. I was not even familiar. I thought he was still an English international. Just never got a call up. But, yeah, man. Big game from him today. Congratulations to Atalanta, Europa League champions. They now have qualified for the Champions League next season. And even though they still have 2 more games to play in Serie A, it really doesn't matter anymore because they've already accomplished what they've set out to do, and they've gotten a trophy along the way. Bayer Leverkusen, terrible performance. This had to be one of the worst games that they probably played all season. And it just so happens to come in a final. Now, if you could have asked Bayer Leverkusen fans at the beginning of this season, would you rather maybe do an invincible treble or lose a few games this season but win a treble? I think everybody would have picked to just win the treble. But yeah, man, big season. Boring game. I thought we were going to definitely get some more. I thought, as I said, 3-2 was going to be around the scoreline that we were going to see. But that just wasn't the case, guys. Get in the comment section and let me know what you thought about this Europa League final. Atalanta 3, Bayer Leverkusen 0. Lookman, man of the match. He cooked today, was clinical whenever he got opportunities. He looked dangerous every time he was on the ball, and Leverkusen just had no answers for him. I thought that they would come back out in the second half and look a lot better, and it looked the same. Disappointing game for them, shit performance, and Atalanta have punished them, guys. Get in the comment section and let me know what you thought about the match. Let me know who was your man of the match, and let me know what you think about Leverkusen's season just overall. Or you could talk to me about Atalanta. I'm out, people. Peace.